Good morning. I'm so tired today. We both have a rain energy beverage.
Hmm.
We're gonna do a discussion on the new TV show Velma. Maybe we'll talk about Baby Reindeer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe we'll discuss all the best and worst Scooby Doo adaptations.
I would love to. We can talk
Yeah,
about Abigail from the movie Abigail.
I haven't seen Abigail, but I want to see Abigail from the movie Abigail. It seems fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And so is Fall
Yeah.
Guy.
Oh, you saw Fall Guy too? Did you go to like a drive-in double
Yeah.
feature? Nice. Which is better?
They were about equal, I feel like. They're both very fun movies.
Wow. You know this is the internet, Rhys. You have to pick a side.
I don't want to pick
You
a
have to
side.
pick a side on the lifelong legendary debate
I
between
think
Abigail
that
and Fall Guy or the Fall Guy.
I have to take Abigail then, that, which is surprising because um I think Fall Guy would have been better if we had seen it in an actual theater. But like the audio was
Okay.
messed up. It was kind of hard to hear them a lot, and then like it wasn't as impactful because we weren't like getting blasted by the all the speakers because it's a big
Oh.
fun action movie. So it's like meant to be very intense at moments, and it was kind of, but not as much, I feel like.
Would you say that it's the best video game adaptation?
Is it a video game adaptation? It was a
Yeah,
TV show
is it
adaptation.
not based on the Fall Guys? That little platformer?
I wish that'd be really funny.
Does Ryan Gosling not play one of those little jelly bean boys? Is that not who his character is?
No, it's not, but I kind of wish it was. I think
Well, now I'm not going to see it. That
he'd pull
changes
it off
everything.
perfectly.
Now I'm on the side of Abigail.
Well, I sent you the one quote. I thought that was so funny.
You did. I was awake when I saw
Oh,
that.
you were?
Yeah, and
That's
I was
great.
like, should I respond? Nah, so I didn't. Yeah. Do you have a Reese the For You page today? You sent me a list, so you
Do
remember. I
and
don't remember what they were. I didn't actually pay attention. I just
well,
acknowledged that the text got sent.
so one of them was the one I had told you that I was gonna say last week but forgot, and that was the Ian Hawke memes
Yeah,
where
where
he's
did that come from?
I don't know, but I just they randomly started popping up where Ian Hawke like there's a clip of him saying he never loses, and I think that started popping up, and then people
Oh,
turned him into essentially Chuck Norris 2.0.
yeah.
So
But
it'd just be like Chuck Norris, not sorry, Ian Hawke missed 2 days of school one time, and now it's called the weekend or something like that.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, just stuff like that. It was good. It was
I
a
actually
top
have
quality
seen
meme.
those, and I think it's funny, which is
Yeah,
rare for me because I don't find jokes funny.
yeah. He actually never laughs. He has a little
I've
button he clicks when thinks he says something funny, and then it
Yeah, I've
goes.
got a audio table with preset sound bites, and the only thing on there is like a little bit of a laugh. And I imagine it's similar to what my actual laugh would be,
Yeah,
but I don't know for sure,
he
obviously.
had to guesstimate it.
Yeah. So you watched all of Velma, partially because I
Oh
told
yeah.
you that we should both watch it, and then I didn't watch it. I'm going to. This is not an Avatar the live action Airbender situation. You don't get a chit for this.
You should. I would prefer you watch the live action Avatar. It's probably better.
Well, I don't doubt that. I mean, I know that people, and it's polarizing that live action Avatar The Last Airbender, but I think most people would agree it's better than season two of a show that no one liked in the first place. And I'm kind of shocked it got a second season.
Yeah, I'm gonna check to see if we got a third season.
I don't know. Because I didn't even know it was coming out until I think you told me, like, hey, you're going to watch, or should I watch Velma season two? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's out. And I
Hmm.
checked online and it was referred to as the season that nobody asked for.
Oh yeah,
Like,
because the first season was arguably the worst season of television ever, and then they got
really?
renewed,
Do you
and no one
think,
knew why.
and I'm not trying to insinuate that you're this type of person, but is the hate uh regarding just wokeness because it's too woke, get woke, go broke, would you say? Because I guarantee
I'm
that's a part of the hate, but is that
yes,
like the reason the show's bad? Because I bet
no,
it's not. Okay.
it's not the exclusive reason, and there's definitely going to be people who hate it only for that reason.
Right.
But
But
like,
also those people probably didn't watch it.
yeah,
Or they
but
did. I don't know how woke haters operate. It seems like they actually watch everything.
am
God
I?
bless.
I no, I mean I hate watched season two and the first season, so I just had to see it through because I wanted to. It's like if I had never had a mushroom and I said I did like mushrooms, you wouldn't trust my opinion on it. So I had to
No.
watch Velma so that I could talk about how shitty Velma is.
Well, I have seen the first episode of Velma, and I don't think I finished it. And I texted you this, but I'm pretty sure I started it and it just dragged on. And I checked to see how much longer I had because I was bored, and I had like half of the episode left, which is quite telling because the episodes are, how long are they? Like 30
30
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah. So 15 minutes more or less felt like much longer, which is not typically a good thing that you want for a half hour television show.
And they drag on. All the characters are barely else from the other Scooby Doo stuff, which that's fine. It's meant to be different in its own thing and stuff.
They're
But
all, aren't they all strangely characterized? Like, I remember the
yeah,
very first image of Velma from that show was like her looking at I don't know if it was a severed head or just a person without the top of their head or both. But
probably was.
it was like, oh, this is so like dark and adult themed. And I was like, okay, this could be something because a lot of adults now love Scooby Doo, probably more than children, I'd say, because what was the last Scooby Doo thing that a child would have watched?
There's
Scoob, I
Be
guess.
Cool Scooby Doo or something like that,
Oh, that sounds terrible.
which
Why
is
is it called
apparent.
Be
I don't know.
Cool Scooby Doo?
It's apparently good, but the animation is shitty, which
It should be
probably turns
called
off a
Be
lot of
Cool
people.
Be Doo.
It should.
They're also, did you hear about
Yeah,
the
it looks really bad.
Netflix? They're going to make a Netflix live action Scooby Doo show, I think. I think it's live action. I can't remember.
I
But
think
yeah.
so. I am okay with that.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
feel
it'll be
like this is
fine.
an insanely easy one to adapt. So as long as you
Yeah.
make an interesting story, then
Right.
like this doesn't have to be animated at least. It's not like an Atlas situation, but
Now, what did you dislike about Velma as the
um
biggest Scooby-Doo fan in the world, which you are?
I'm trying to I don't remember much from season one. I remember a big thing was they made a lot of jokes that were just middle fingers to like the fans of Scooby Doo.
Like what?
Like they would constantly tease about how dumb like a group of kids solving mysteries was, I believe, and they like constantly made jokes about or in season two they kept making jokes about how stupid it is for there to be a talking dog
I mean, it
and
is
how
pretty
unrealistic it
stupid,
is.
but that's the show, you know?
Yeah, if you watch it, the humor is just not there at
It doesn't
all. And it's
land.
yeah, and they constantly try the same stuff over and over again, and Velma is kind of just a self-insert Mindy Kaling character. So she's just
Oh.
nonstop talking and then nonstop making jokes and then trying to be like the what you expect to be like the morally right character. So everything she says, she'll like say something problematic and then say a joke.
Oh.
And like
Okay.
it's okay if you're dealing with problematic shit, but you don't need to say it like every single line to be like, oh, Velma's such a good person. Look at her.
Fair enough. Do you think going back to like they're making fun of how dumb Scooby-Doo is? Have you heard of hanging a lampshade on it or hanging a lantern on it?
I've not, no.
It's a narrative trick that a lot of movies and TV shows do where something bizarre or like unbelievable happens, but they
Hmm.
acknowledge it in the movie. So like I think the classic example is like James Bond gets surrounded by 40 dudes
Hmm.
and then it cuts to after the fight and James Bond says, I don't actually know if this is real. Anyway, it cuts to after the fight and then you don't see it, but James Bond says, well, that was surprisingly easy. And it tricks the audience more or less. It doesn't always work, but it tricks the audience to be like, oh, well, it is pretty unbelievable that James Bond could beat up 40 guys in an enclosed room without a gun.
Hmm.
So the fact he acknowledged it makes you not think about the fact that that's kind of impossible.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're trying to acknowledge how dumb Scooby-Doo is just to be like, yeah, we know and get over it?
I mean, maybe. I don't remember the specific like comments and stuff, so I don't remember in what context they were.
Okay.
So whether or not that was accurate or not. I do
There's
remember all
all
the jokes about the talking dog being dumb. And then they had a talking dog in the show, but it wasn't even Scooby, which was dumb.
Wait, is
Spoilers, I
Scooby
guess.
not in the show? Is it
No, Scooby
Scrappy
Doo's not in
Doo?
the show. Scrappy shows up. He's Scrappy Doo is a very hated character, which
Yeah.
Emma told me she loved him, so I kind of stared at her for a little bit. But
I like Scrap. He's a weird little ghoul of a man.
yeah, and they kind of like, you know how he has a bunch of catchphrases? I guess spoilers for the end
No,
of
I
season two.
don't.
But he has a bunch of catchphrases. And so he says them in this show, but it's
What
like
are
a
his
tick.
catchphrases?
It's like ta ta
Oh,
ta or like puppy power or stuff like that.
okay.
And it's more like he's a psychopath and he's like really like looks creepy, does really creepy stuff. And so he's like will say this shit and it's clearly like a tick, like he can't help himself.
Oh.
And that
Is he a puppy? I thought he was just a
yeah,
little dog.
I think he's a puppy. At least he is in this one. I don't know if he's
Okay. I mean, that kind of makes sense because puppies are loose cannons, man. You know that.
yeah. He's a Great Dane puppy.
Oh.
Yeah,
I thought
but
he was just a little
Scooby
dog.
does not show up at all. There's a character called Uncle Scooby, which is just a person in a costume.
Is it like Shaggy's uncle? Is it like
No,
the namesake for the dog?
no, I don't know when they're gonna bring him
Is there
Scooby.
anything good about this show? Anything that you like?
I do like the how what they did with Scrappy. I'll be honest, that
I
was
was gonna
kind
say
of
that's not a bad
yeah.
idea.
I like
That's
the
a
tick thing.
that's a clever way to integrate that character, I feel. Having not seen it, of course. But
Yeah,
didn't they like aren't you because you said earlier like none of the characters are really the actual characters from the
No.
original cartoon.
And like you can change stuff, but like she kind of kept like the bare minimum stereotype about them, and then that
Okay.
was it, and then just ran full steam ahead with them.
Because I know a lot of people were upset that didn't they say that Fred has a micro penis or something in the
Yeah,
first season?
Fred is a
He-
very interesting character
In general or in the show?
in the show. He's kind of like he's the r rich kid whose
Yeah,
parents hate him, and then he's a little like I don't know what word to use here. He's like constantly whining about every little thing, and then
he's a little
constantly
whiny.
talking about his how much his parents hate him, but then he defends them constantly. Like he's in that kind of boat.
Oh, that's kind of annoying. Why is he doing it? Why it seems like every character has a trait that they use or they do constantly. Is that
Yeah,
accurate for the show?
no,
What's Shaggy's
extremely.
trait? Is he a stoner? Is
It's
that
not
what it
even
is?
Shaggy, it's Norville.
Oh
So
yeah,
they,
I knew
because
that
that is his
actually.
real name, but they don't
Right.
like, he never becomes Shaggy. He's just like a smart guy going after Velma for a while, and then they stop,
Okay.
and then I don't know.
Is
He's meant to
Daphne in
be
the
a nice
show?
guy. Daphne is in the show. She's actually I'm okay with Daphne. She was the popular girl. They have a lot of popular girls and constantly talk about popularity and stuff. It's really
Ugh.
interesting. By
Okay.
interesting, I mean stupid,
Look,
but
I get that. Are they in high school or are they like in college? What is this?
they're in high school.
I get that high school is cliquey and there is like a discrepancy between like the popular kids, the jocks, like there are groups of archetypes of people.
Yeah.
But I don't, and this is just my preference, I don't like seeing that in a show, especially when they constantly talk about it.
Yeah.
Like one thing I don't love the show Stranger Things, but one thing I like about that show is the main friend group. They're all like nerdy losers, but they don't care.
Yeah.
They're not constantly talking about the popular kids or anything. Like they're playing D&D together, or Magic the Gathering, or whatever they're doing, because that's what they enjoy. Like they're having fun doing it. They want to be that way. They're not like, I don't know. I'm sure they get bullied a little bit by a popular kid or something. I don't remember. But
Yeah, probably. I think they do in season one.
yeah, but I don't
I
know.
don't know
Maybe it's
outside
not a
of
good
that.
example. But all right, so we have every main character except for Scooby is in the
Scooby,
show.
yeah. And a huge part about the original is that they're like people of different like not backgrounds, like they're like in those different cliques in high school. They're still like best friends and they're still doing something they all love together.
Right.
And that doesn't happen.
Are
They
they
kind
even
of just
friends?
force, not really. Like that Fred and Daphne were dating, I think.
Okay.
And then they broke up. Norville liked Velma. That didn't work out. And he started dating this girl named Gigi or some shit.
Is Gigi an original character for this show?
Yes, as far as
Okay.
I'm aware. People were talking about how she was the stand-in for Scooby Doo, but I don't think that's true.
That's kind of weird.
Oh yeah. I think it was just because I don't know. But then Fred starts going after Velma.
Okay.
Velma ignores him, starts having feelings for Daphne because they rekindled their friendship.
Wait, who does? Velma or
Velma.
okay.
And then Velma also goes after Norville. And then the season ends with her accidentally telling Daphne, I love you, Norville.
What?
I don't know. But then in season two, it's just Daphne and Velma are dating.
Okay.
And Fred's just by himself, and then Norville ends up dating a brain in a jar.
Is that true?
It is true.
Maybe he's gonna put that brain into a dog and that's Scooby Doo.
I hope not. That'd be weird. She's
I
dating it.
mean, that's a good point. I was gonna say like that would explain why there's a dog that can talk. Like Scrap is just a demon. Maybe Scooby's like a brain that Norville put into a dog that he used to date.
Maybe they have a pretty strong bond.
Wait, is the brain Gigi?
No, Gigi is she's just Gigi.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of the first season is a bunch of popular girls were getting murdered, and then their
Oh.
brains were taken out, and they're just referred to as the hot girls. And then they find them in the jars, and they're still alive because of like what they're in and stuff. And so they're just like riding around on skateboards and stuff at high school.
Sounds really dumb.
Yeah, and then they
Like it
start dating.
sounds absurd and like it could be a fun thing. It could be like amusing sort of thing, but it doesn't sound like it landed that.
Yeah, if they handled it well, I feel like that would be an interesting kind of thing. But they just kind of run through jokes like nonstop, constantly, and very few of them land.
Wait, so when they call the popular victims or the popular girls who are victims in the first season, the hot girls, is that a joke?
No, it's
Is that
because
like a
they were just the killer was going after hot girls, and so they just referred to them as the hot girls.
okay, well, that's kind of weird, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Do you want to know who the killer is?
I don't care, but
Would you
yeah.
like this
Wait,
spoiler?
let me guess.
Okay, I don't think you will, but
Is it a character I know?
I have not mentioned. Oh, I've technically mentioned them very
Scrappy?
briefly. No, that's he's
Gigi.
season two.
Is it Gigi?
not Gigi.
Is it? Oh, it's Uncle Scooby, isn't it?
No, but that's also in
Really?
season two.
I don't have any idea.
Yeah,
It's
season
one of
two is
Fred's
Uncle
parents.
Scooby and Scrappy, but Uncle Scooby is just afraid of Scrappy, so is just trying not to die.
Okay.
Wait, what'd you say?
Is it one of Fred's parents?
It is one of Fred's parents.
Okay, this just sounds like Riverdale, a show I've never seen.
Yeah, I don't remember why she did it, but it was his mom, and then
Oh,
Norville
did she?
accidentally kills her.
How does he do that? Like with a gun?
I don't. They're like in a cave, and she does shoots at him or something, and then he like does something that ends up causing a stalactite to fall on top of her. I don't.
Can't
I
tell if this show is trying to be like Scooby Doo for like grown-ups, like where it's like, I don't know, well made, or if it's trying to be like an homage to stupid Scooby Doo cartoons from the 70s or whatever.
no, it's
It's like
more the former for
accidentally
sure.
accidentally having a stalactite kill the villain. That's a very like cheesy way to kill the villain. Does he have like repercussions? Does he go to jail for killing that woman?
No, because she was trying to kill him, I think. But he does have like he has PTSD of sorts, and so he keeps having panic attacks and seeing the like ghost of the mom. But it turns out that it
Okay.
wasn't actually hallucinations, and the mom was just haunting him.
There were actual ghosts in the show.
Yes, and she thought that she was just a hallucination as well. So she didn't realize she was a ghost until after he stopped having the hallucinations, and she was just still there.
That's not how. What?
I don't know. And then
That's
she ends up like making peace after making Fred be the man she wanted him to be.
how does she make Fred be the man she wanted him to be?
She tries to possess his body and he throws her out. And in doing so, she was like, wow, you stood up. Good job.
Oh, so she wanted him to stand up to her.
Yeah, because he
Like
was
they,
like constantly talking about how she was innocent and that she was possessed by Dr. Edna Purdue, who's a character I've not mentioned. And
I don't think you have to. I don't
no.
care about
Well,
Dr.
she
Edna
is the one
Purdue.
doing she was
The
the one who
brain
learned the brain
jar?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I probably should have asked, how did Fred's mom create sentient brain jars?
Yeah, with Dr. Edna Purdue's research.
Is the motive behind Fred's mom being the killer because she doesn't want him to date like popular girls?
I genuinely don't remember.
Or is it because she wants him to stand up to her?
I think that's more afterwards because she's kind of a terrible mom.
Okay. I mean,
Why
it
did
sounds like she's kind of terrible.
do it? Oh, let's see. Okay. However, her son Fred proved to be too absent-minded and stupid to fill in her shoes at their company. So she used Edna's research to kidnap girls and strip them of their brains, intending to put one of theirs into Fred's body, effectively killing him and replacing him with a girl boss.
What? Okay. All right. That sounds fascinating, I guess.
Yeah. But so she did it. She died. She haunted. She went to hell. We saw it. It was kind of funny. It was one of the few times I was like, haha.
Do you remember did you watch Scoob?
Yes.
Remember when they go to hell?
Yeah. For
What
like
a
2 seconds.
what a weird movie. I hate Scoob, man. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It's not even entertaining.
I think I found the beginning entertaining, and then by the end I was just out of it.
Yeah. I mean, if I did not anticipate that movie ending in hell at all, that did not, you could have given me all the time in the world. I probably would have never guessed that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it ends in hell.
And they tried really hard to do what a lot of companies are doing.
Like a shared universe sort of
Yeah, a
thing.
shared universe where it just like kind of baked off nostalgia. So they showed all these other cartoons, but the people watching it are not going to have that nostalgia.
Well, what's the other guy? Logan Paul's in that movie, by which I mean Mark Wahlberg plays a character who is Logan Paul. Who is that guy? The blue guy.
Oh,
Who
Blue
is nostalgia
Falcon,
for
I
that? Yeah,
think.
for that guy. What is that from?
He's in Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated,
Is he
but
like a different Hanna-Barbera
yeah,
animated cartoon?
yeah,
Okay. Because what does
Blue Falcon.
Hanna-Barbera have that isn't Scooby-Doo that people recognize and care about?
There Scooby Doo, Johnny Quest, Wacky Races,
Okay, I know Johnny
Space Ghost
Quest.
Coast to Coast,
Okay, I love Space Ghost, but they can't. I mean, they could do that in a crossover.
Powerpuff Girls.
That's
I
Hanna-Barbera.
think we're getting into more Cartoon Network stuff that maybe they kind of worked on.
Well, Hanna-Barbera came back in like I don't know, a couple decades ago with Space Ghost Coast to Coast and Harvey Birdman, which are like same style of animation but matured. I guess it's trying to do what Velma did, but arguably better. Again, I
No,
haven't seen
they
Velma.
succeeded
But like
because
Space Ghost is just that character interviewing people. And then Harvey Birdman is a Birdman who's a attorney, and each episode is like a different cartoon that is in legal trouble and he has to get them off.
yeah, which is a good idea. And we watched the Scooby Doo one. That was fun.
I was gonna say, like, did you watch that one with me?
Yeah,
I
I did.
can't periodically I'll watch like five or so episodes and then I'll just stop. Not because it's bad, just because I'm like, okay, I get it. I don't know. I don't want
Yeah.
to see a Scooby Doo shared universe, though. I mean, sure, if you built it up, maybe, but don't
Okay.
force it in the first movie. Don't send them to hell.
No, you should watch Mr. Incorporated because
No.
it's not really a shared universe. They just show up in like a single episode.
Well, Batman shows up in one of the episodes too, I think, doesn't he? In the first run or one of the early Scooby
Oh, one of
Doo.
the early Scooby Doo's, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I need. Did the Ninja Turtles show up? That's
Uh,
also what I need.
Probably. I know they have a crossover with Supernatural.
That's that's weird, but okay.
It looks like unless this is fake, there is a comic about it, but I don't know if there's a show.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just connecting the dots because Ninja Turtles crossover with Batman and Batman crossover with Scooby Doo. But I don't know. Do you want to go through and discuss all the various Scooby Doo iterations?
I would love to.
Okay.
Do you wanna know how season two ends?
Oh, yeah,
And
sure, I
probably
guess.
the end of Velma. So
I
again,
bet it gets
spoilers.
another series because no one I mean, I didn't expect a second season, so I'm sure they'll do a third season.
I don't know. I can't see them doing it. But so they're all getting attacked by Scrappy Doo at the dual parents' wedding. So Velma's dad is marrying his current girlfriend, and Velma's mom is marrying Fred's dad. So
Okay.
they had a shared wedding for this. And Scrappy Doo attacks and ends up killing Velma. So Velma's dead.
Oh, is she in hell?
No, but she will go to hell, I'm sure.
Okay.
But
Well, they already have hell in this universe.
yeah. And they establish ghosts exist. So we see Velma, and Scrappy is about to kill Daphne, I think. So Velma possesses Scrappy's body and kicks his ghost out. So Scrappy just randomly falls on the ground, and then Velma's ghost comes out. And then Daphne just goes, Velma, and then it ends.
God damn it. Okay. I
So it
don't
just
know why
ends in
that
Velma being dead and there being a ghost, and then that was it.
that's like the greatest cliffhanger in TV history, I feel.
So if enough people are like, oh, I have to see where that goes, which there won't be, then we'll get a third season.
Well, I mean, no one's signing up for Max for this show.
No.
And unless every person who has a Max account watches it, it's probably not going to get the numbers to warrant a third season. But still might. I don't know. Maybe there's a contract
I'm
that
probably
Mindy
the only
Kaling has.
person who's seen it all. So
You might be. I have not heard anyone talk about the actual season. I've heard people talk about how it's crazy that they made season two, but I
mhm.
haven't heard anyone discuss how it's like a review of it, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your favorite Scooby Doo? The
Believe it or
original one.
not, it's Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Oh, it's not the original one?
No, it's
The
not the
really,
original one.
have you seen those?
Yeah.
They're really not great. I mean,
They're
they're fine.
they're
They're
fun.
fun. They're good.
Yeah.
It's a decent kids show. I know as I've gotten older, and I think I did think or notice this when I was a kid, but you can always tell what's going to happen in every scene because the animation isn't very good. And so the object that was going to like move or like a hidden door that a monster is going to
hmm
walk through is a different color than the rest of the background.
But keep in mind, that was for kids, 100% exclusively.
What do you mean? That show?
Yeah. So kids
Well,
might not
yeah.
be able to pick up on like, oh, that's a different color.
Oh no, they probably wouldn't. I mean, I think at a certain age, you'd probably, it's like a rite of passage. It's like puberty, but for Scooby-Doo
Yeah,
fans. When you
once you figure it out.
notice, when you notice that part of the background is a different shade of blue, then you're like, I'm finally a man or a
Yeah.
woman or an adult in general. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's the point. That's the turning point in everyone's life. But I don't know. You loved watching Scooby-Doo when we were kids. You're
I
the
do.
reason we watched those live action ones when we were
I do.
driving places.
You're
You like
welcome.
those movies?
They're great movies.
I don't believe that. I have not seen them in a
They're
while.
so
I've
fun.
seen the Caravan of Garbage on it.
Do you know who directs it then?
Do you know who directs
I
it?
do know
Because
who
you're
directs it.
wrong.
Is it not James Gunn?
James Gunn only directed the
Does he
second
write
one.
them? Oh,
He wrote both, directed the second one. I get a chit. I win.
you do not get a shit.
I don't get shit. You're right. But I don't know. I actually don't know who directed the first one. I know he wanted to, but he wasn't really like a proven director at that
Director
point.
yet.
I think he like petitioned to direct his script.
Let's see. It was Matthew Lillard was the first thing that came up, and I'm like, that's not true. Scooby Doo 2002. Raja Gosnell?
I don't know who that is,
I
but
don't know either. I also don't know if I pronounced that right, but
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't remember loving those movies,
I thought they
but
were so
I
fun.
should go back, but I probably won't. Oh, like I was saying earlier, I saw the Caravan of Garbage on it. They released it like I think over COVID, maybe a little bit after. Doesn't matter. But one of them hated the first one, but liked the second one. I think the other one had it reversed.
The only issue with the first one is the CGI is horrible.
Yeah, but
It's exactly what you expect out of a Scooby Doo movie. But
it's
then
a
like the
pretty good
monsters are like bizarre
yuck.
looking.
I don't know. It's a good looking Scooby Doo. I mean, it looks like a CGI monster, but like that's fair.
Well, Scooby Doo's fine. I'm talking more about those
Yeah,
like
no, I know.
yeah.
I know what you mean. Or you mean. What was I gonna say? What's the plot of the first one? Also, great cast. I'll
Oh,
say it.
phenomenal cast.
If no one else will. Real life couple, Fred
Matthew
and
Lillard,
Daphne. I don't remember who is it? Who plays Fred and Daphne? It's Freddie Prinze
Freddie
Jr.
Prinze Jr.
and
and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
yeah, they might still be married. I don't
They're
know.
married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good casting. Matthew Lillard, perfect,
Immediately
obviously.
started voicing Shaggy because of how good he was.
And he just will forever, except for in Scoob
Scoob for some
when Will
reason.
Forte voiced him, which Will Forte is great. Love that guy.
I don't like his voice.
And like in general or in that?
Just in general, not specifically for Shaggy.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. The first one doesn't have real monsters, does it?
It does.
I thought the second one has the real monsters. And then Shaggy Doo was actually a blonde woman.
That was the first
Was
one.
that the first one?
The first one is they have they're like stealing souls, and then
Oh.
they're like turning into these weird like bug-eyed creature things. And then it turns out it was Scrappy as a she was hiding as a woman or whatever.
Didn't he like flirt with Shaggy?
Yes.
That's a little bit creepy.
Well, maybe he has a
Deep
crush on
undercover.
Shaggy. I don't know.
Maybe he does.
But
I don't
that
know.
happened. And the second one is their past like mysteries, like the costumes and stuff were
Oh, they
turned into
come to life.
real, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's telling that you as a Scooby-Doo fan enjoy those movies and I as kind of like I'm indifferent towards Scooby-Doo didn't particularly enjoy them, which just indicates that those movies are for the fans, you know? And that's what they should be.
Yeah, they're just fun little experiences. They're not like the greatest movie ever, but they
I
have
think
a lot of quotable lines.
give me 15.
15. Oh shit. I only use one. And it's if anyone ever says, "Who do you think you are?" which doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
But at the end
Wait,
of the
do you want me
second,
to do you want me to set you up?
no, it's okay.
Who do you think you are?
I don't want to say it.
I'm Scrappy Doo.
No, there's a at the end of this second one, the villain yells that at Scooby, and it
Yeah.
just like
Does
zooms
he
in
go
each time.
Scooby Dooby Doo?
Yeah, he goes Scooby, it zooms in, Dooby, zooms in, Doo, and then he clicks a button.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
what
great.
Scoob should have been.
It should have.
Yeah. Oh well. I think my favorite iteration of Scooby Doo is from the Venture Bros.
Of course
They're
it
not,
is.
dude, that show, they do so many like versions of famous characters, and they're all so, in my opinion, they're all so clever and like so good. Like I think I mentioned to you definitely, but maybe not on the show. Like they have a Fantastic Four in that
Mhm.
world, but the only one who's like, in the public eye is Mr. Fantastic because all the other three just got horrible mutations from the cosmic rays. Like he got stretchy powers, he's a genius. The Invisible Woman, like she can turn invisible, but only her skin. So she turns invisible and she's just like, you just see like the muscle fibers and, things like that. The Human Torch is constantly on fire and he's not fireproof. And the Thing is just one giant tumor, which
Yeah. Poor thing, man.
arguably is the most accurate because if you get blasted by a ton of radiation, that would probably happen.
Oh yeah. You're not getting
But
stretchy powers for some reason.
yeah, and I think it's just like the Scooby-Doo gang in the Venture Bros. They don't get much screen time, but I think and this is what, I don't know, I don't want to shit talk Velma, a show I haven't seen, but this is kind of like the adult progression of the Scooby-Doo that I like, or I think I would like more, where Fred is a cult leader, like a Charles Manson type.
Oh my God.
Daphne is like one of his followers. Can't remember what Velma is. Can you look that up for me?
Sure.
Or I can look it up. Shaggy is like, I don't know. It's never really clarified if he is just mentally ill or if a demon is possessing Scooby-Doo and only talks to Shaggy. And so every time Shaggy tells the other people, like, this dog is talking to me, they think he's crazy, but the dog might actually just be like a demon sent from hell, like only speaking to Shaggy to, I don't know, mess with him.
I cannot find what Val
Hold
is.
on. I might just, if I just look up a photo, I can maybe just remember. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't know what season that is, but I'd say check it out. Adventure Bros. Scooby-Doo.
I don't know if I've actually
Oh, it's
watched
called the
all of the
Groovy Gang.
yeah, the Groovy Gang.
The current members, Ted, Val, Sunny, Patty, Groovy. Groovy Gang was a where a group of mentally disturbed individuals that claim to be amateur detectives that travel the world in a van to solve mysteries that may or may not exist. The group consists of the insane, violent-tempered, and self-righteous leader Ted. I wonder if that's because of Ted Bundy, who wasn't a cult
Oh,
leader,
maybe.
but the
Or it's just because it's
weak-willed.
close to Fred.
Yeah, and he kidnapped Patty, who's Daphne. The angry extremist. The angry extremist feminist Val, the paranoid, jittery hippie Sunny, and the terrifying, possibly demon-possessed dog Groovy. Oh yeah, and they don't actually solve mysteries. They just Ted just says like, "Oh, this is a mystery we have to solve," and then they just like loot the building. That's what they say. They just steal shit. And at one point,
They butchered the gang. How dare they?
yeah, and there's a plot point where are you gonna watch this show?
Maybe eventually, but I don't.
This
If you
is
could spoil it, I don't care.
okay. So Hank and Dean are the Venture Bros, the two brothers.
Hmm.
Uh, they die like at the end of every season almost, if not more, and they're clones. And so
Oh,
in
okay.
one episode, the Groovy Gang kill them, but then later on, they run into the new cloned versions of
Hmm.
Hank and Dean, and they genuinely think like that they're being haunted by those two.
That's kind of funny. I like that.
Yeah, so that's my favorite.
Yeah, I haven't watched the. I don't know if I've seen all the episodes from the original, but I know there's
I
I really like What's New Scooby Doo, and then Scooby Doo Where Are You? I like a lot. I don't think that's the original, right? There's like a
is the original just called?
I think it's the Scooby Doo show.
Okay.
And then let's see. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna find a timeline.
Scooby Dooby
Is
Doo.
this just ranking all of them? I don't think this is what I want. This is IMDb. Come on, guys. Give me a timeline, internet.
Just look up Scooby Doo release dates. Maybe it'll give you a big list. I don't know. I can do it too.
The Scooby Doo timeline. Okay. So you have. Oh, I zoomed in too far.
You fool. 45 films.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of movies.
Jesus
And honestly, the
Christ.
movies are pretty great.
I doubt that.
Did
I
you
mean,
ever
I'm
watch
sure
the
they're
Zombie
okay.
Island one?
Yeah. Did you own it?
Yeah,
Or
it's
did we
great.
own it? Yeah, I've seen all of those, I'm pretty sure, because you would never stop watching it.
Well, I
That's not
liked it.
true. You would definitely stop.
I'd have a sleepover, and my friend and I would either watch Scooby Doo, the zombie one, or we'd watch the first I ever went to kid.
Wow.
Like,
Do you want to name drop that friend?
I mean, sure, his name is Andrew. I don't
Do you think he listens?
Probably not.
I'll email it to him.
Okay, there's Scooby Doo, Where Are You?
Okay.
There's the Scooby Doo movies. There's the Scooby Doo show. Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics. I don't know what that is. Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo. Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. A pup named Scooby Doo, which is where they're all kids. I've never seen that.
I mean, I bet that's okay. Like that's just that they're doing Muppet Babies or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. What's New Scooby Doo was the like newer one. That one was pretty good.
Okay.
Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue. Looks weird as hell.
That doesn't
Scooby Doo Mr.
sound
Incorporated is incredible.
okay.
And then Be Cool Scooby Doo, I think, is the current one. Oh, wait, what? Scooby Doo and Guess Who?
It's on HBO Max
Oh, I should watch this.
and Boomerang. It's 52 episodes.
Wait, where does it
Oh,
say?
is it like they have a crossover each time?
I think so.
Because it says in Guess Who?
So
Guest
maybe
stars.
that's the Supernatural one. And then
Do you
Velma,
want to
which
hear who some
screw
of the guest
Velma.
stars are?
I would love to.
So I'm gonna make you guess. This is a fun game. Uh,
Okay.
season 1, episode 1. This one's called Revenge of the Swamp Monster. Who do you think would be get the guest star in it?
John Cena.
Chris Paul.
Damn.
This one's
Wait, what?
yes. This one's called A Mystery Solving Gang Divided. Who do you think the guest star is?
Ah, wait, what's it called? Gang Divided?
A Mystery Solving Gang Divided.
Is this like politics related? Is it like Donald Trump or something?
It's also Chris Paul. No, it's the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. That was really good. How'd you get that? How'd you get politics? I guess gang
Because
divided.
Gang Divided. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
could think.
Let's find an interesting one. The Cursed Cabinet of Professor Mads Markson. I genuinely thought it said Mads Mikkelsen. He's not the guest star.
Is it somehow Mads Markles?
No, it's Penn and Teller.
Oh my God. I actually really want to watch this. I think
This
that'd be fun.
sounds so strange.
So bizarre.
Like some of these are actual like characters, like Batman shows up in one of these episodes, but some of them are real humans. Jim
I mean, Chris
Gaffigan shows
Paul
up.
is a crazy first one to have.
Yeah, you'd think you'd start with like a really big one. Like,
Like
I don't
LeBron
know.
James. Like,
Sure. Or John Cena, like a character that people actually, I don't know, have demanded to see
yeah,
Scooby-Doo
like
cross
those.
over with. Like Sherlock Holmes crosses over with them in one of these episodes. You could
Yeah,
have done that in the first episode. That would have grabbed people.
I'm just maybe Chris Paul reached out to them because I mean I don't dislike him or anything. He's a good very good basketball player, but like, why?
Do you want to find out a fun wrinkle of Scooby-Doo lore?
I would love to.
So in episode 13 of this show, whatever it was called, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, Batman shows up in an episode titled What a Night for a Dark Night. And it's established that Alfred Pennyworth is Daphne's uncle. That is now canon.
I think so often they're just going to like random family members' houses and stuff. I wonder
Yeah.
how many are like that.
Steve Buscemi's in one of these episodes.
Well, no, I have to watch it. I love Steve
Maddie
Buscemi.
Ziegler. Why do I know that name?
I also know that name.
I'm thinking of Rachel Ziegler.
Maddie Ziegler, movies and shows. I don't know any of these.
Malcolm McDowell is in this.
Who's Malcolm McDowell?
He's in. I
The name
think
sounds familiar. Is that?
he's in Community. He's the guy they tie to a chair. Remember that? That professor? He's also
Yeah.
in A Clockwork Orange. That's
It's in
fucking so
Halloween,
weird.
apparently. I don't remember that. Wait, 2007 Halloween. That's not when Halloween came out. Interesting.
Macklemore shows up. Anyone out there who wants to watch just that episode, which I imagine you do, the Macklemore episode is called The Seventh Inning Scare. If you're gonna do a baseball storyline, why did you get Macklemore? That's
Do you
weird.
think
It's
they should
season
do
2,
one with,
episodes 12.
oh, hell yeah.
Do one with who?
The Impractical Jokers. Do you think that'd be a very fitting
That'd be
show?
fun.
Yeah.
Some of these are weird, man. Okay, well
Like
that's
Sal tries to do one of his things on Daphne or something, and then they get like a ghost attacks, and then they have to help.
yeah.
You're welcome, Scooby
Are
Doo
they?
in Guess Who or whatever it's called.
I assume they're actually playing themselves, right?
Yeah,
Matthew
Scooby Doo is very
Lillard is in
popular.
one of
They're
them.
probably. Oh wait, really?
Yeah, in the season 2, episode 24. This is
They
like
get rid
four
of
guest
people.
stars. Wow. Well, I bet this is the best Scooby-Doo. Velma. Let me
Velma.
look at this.
Velma sucks. Yeah, there are
Would
so
you?
many videos on that you can watch it that'll go into much better detail because it's fresher in their minds when they talked about it. But
Didn't you watch this yesterday or
like
finish
season
it
one.
yesterday? Oh.
Season two, I haven't looked at any videos or stuff, but season one had a lot of people hating on it.
Discourse.
And there's one specific video I watched, I don't remember who it's by, but it was comparing because Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated is also meant to be a more adult version.
Oh, is it? I
But
didn't know
not
that.
to like an insane degree, but like you have characters like dying on screen essentially
Oh,
and a bunch of stuff. And it has like an overarching storyline throughout the entire show. So it's not just episodic.
interesting.
And they handle everything much better than Velma does. And so someone made a video comparing them, I believe. And I liked that a lot. And now I want to
See,
rewatch all the Scooby-Doo shows.
part of the reason, I don't know, when Velma first came out and it got absolutely trashed by everyone, like I think it might be the lowest rated TV show on IMDb. It's got like a 1.1 or like a
Velma.
0.4 out of 10.
So
And
worst
it's
shows on IMDb. Number one is called Yobin Rosbin.
I was really hoping you'd say Yo Gabba Gabba.
Fred the Show. Fred. Wait, let's see how low Velma is.
I'm looking. 1.6. That's
Wait,
really low.
it's not even showing up for me as this. I'll look up Velma. Control F. Velma. It doesn't even show up, but it's worse than it's the on par with the second worst rated one.
Wow. Oh, looking at the brains in a jar.
Oh, there we go. It's fifth worst.
Okay. God. Okay. Well, one of the reasons, like when I saw this, I did not believe it was this bad because, and this is an unfortunate reality we live in, this was destined to be review bombed. No
Yeah.
matter what, unless it was, and maybe not even then, but if this was, and it's not, but if this were the greatest show ever made, it would still be just review bombed. People would be saying how terrible it is. And like, I didn't watch any of it, mostly because I don't care about Scooby Doo until you texted me and you were like, it's terrible. I mean, I didn't believe that it was like as bad as people are saying it was until you
Mhm.
told me. Because I know you're not gonna like, you don't hate something because of
No.
weird things like, oh, it's Glenn Howerton is Fred.
Yeah. And
Okay,
it's
I'm gonna
he's
watch it
horrible
now.
as it. It doesn't go well, but it's not his fault.
Man,
It's none of the
fucking love
voice
Glenn
actors'
Howerton.
fault, obviously, besides Mindy Kaling because she wrote it. But
Well, this is a good cast. Mindy Kaling, I think she's good. I haven't seen the Mindy show, the Mindy Project.
Mindy Project, yeah.
It seems like not the kind of show I would enjoy. She was good in The Office. She was
She
good at
was.
being a very unlikable character. Constance Wu.
So if like no, regardless, this show is gonna have people who hated it, and it kind of, I mean, that does suck. But then you have the people who made it using that group as like a reason for the show doing bad, even though
Yeah.
it's the fact that the show's just bad.
I don't know. I'll eventually watch it. Now that I know Glenn Howerton's in it. Now that I know that a real man is in it. The manliest man of them all.
playing the least manly man.
See, oh yeah, I was gonna say, is he
Only in this
less?
show, though.
Well, I mean, it's not like Fred's that manly anyway.
Well,
I guess
he's
in
meant to be a jock.
I could take Fred. He's an
He could
animated
probably
character
take Fred.
on a date.
He's pretty athletic in Mr. Incorporated. The funny thing is he's obsessed with traps, which I love. Great part of Mr. Incorporated. I'm gonna keep talking about that show. You should.
All right. Well, I'll watch Mystery Incorporated and I'll get back to you. I'm watching a bunch of other stuff though, so I'll never actually get to it. Mystery
What if I pull my
Incorporated.
shit? What if I make you watch Scooby Doo, Mr. Incorporated?
Okay. I'm making a list of what I'm going to make you watch when I get a chit. And boy, howdy, you're going to be confused.
What's on the top, or is that going to be a surprise?
I should I've only have three things on there. I can't remember what the first thing was.
I
I
now
mean,
have three things on mine.
I don't know. I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean that just I just need to actually get a chit at some point
Yeah,
or
I'm
accept when
too
you give me it.
reliable.
Well, that one time you forgot our episode and I
Yeah,
said
that's
I get a
true.
chit, but then you're like, okay, but I took it back. So that's on me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's your own fault. I gave you one. I allowed
Yeah.
you to have one.
Can I have one? You mind?
No, not anymore. You
Now that you
improved your
know I have a
chance.
bunch of weird shit that you're gonna have to watch, or really good stuff. Maybe I'm gonna make you watch
Rebel
Velma
Moon.
again.
Yeah,
I'm
how
gonna
does it
add
work? What if I've already
Velma,
watched? What
and
if
you have
one
to
of us has
watch
already
it.
watched it? You still have
Actually,
to
no,
watch it
I don't
again.
think that's. Yeah, I guess, but also, what's the fun in that? I guess I can make you every time I ever get a chit, I can make you watch Velma. That'll keep you on your toes. That'll keep you in check.
It
The
would.
reliable one out of the two of us.
I don't want to watch that show anymore. I'm done. It's
That's
my
so that's your
maybe my
rebel. That's
least.
your rebel moon.
Yeah, it might be the worst show I've ever seen. I was trying to think of one
Is it
thing
worse
I
than How
disliked.
I Met Your Father?
I didn't finish that, so I don't know.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking of. I don't remember why, but earlier you mentioned something about the show Velma and it reminded me of How I Met Your Father. I was gonna ask then, but I'm asking now. Oh well.
Yeah, I those two. If I end up finishing How I Met Your Father, I still think Velma would be worse, but I maybe not. How I Met Your Father pissed me off.
Could it get better?
Yeah, because the second season is better than the first. Like
So if
I'll
they,
give it that.
what amount of better would you say it is? How much better is it? I
Like
guess that's the way you people phrase
10%.
that. So
They were less of an asshole to the Scooby Doo fan base, I feel like.
yeah, that's don't you need that fan base for a Scooby
Those are
Doo
the
show?
only people watching the show.
Like, don't just what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone, I told Rhys this earlier, but I have not slept in like a week.
You tell
I
me.
cannot think. I don't know if I said that after the intro or not.
Oh,
What's
no, it
the
was
word I'm looking
before.
for? Don't just disregard the people who are going to watch your show. It's like if, I don't know, Marvel came out with Iron Man and it was just making fun of people who are like, oh, you fucking losers, you read comic books.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
I don't know if that's a good example, but
No, that's pretty much what they were doing, and it was
like
really stupid.
obviously you want a more diverse audience in terms of not just Scooby-Doo fans, you want like just the average Joe to watch it. That's where you get your money in, or apparently that's how you the bulk of money for movies that make a lot of money come from like average people. Not average people. No one's average, everyone's exceptional. But it comes
Yeah,
from like non-fans, just casual moviegoers. That's what I'm looking for. That's what gets you the most profit.
yeah,
So don't just, I don't know, but at the same time, don't bullshit. Like, you're like, oh, we're better than a Scooby-Doo fan base, but also make something that the average person doesn't want to watch. You have to make something that appeals to the fan base and is good in its own right to get on new fans. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And if you piss off the fan base, they're going to review bomb you. And much like I was saying about the casual moviegoer giving the most money to blockbusters and shit, they typically don't. If a movie gets a bad review, they're less likely to go see it. So if
yeah,
everyone is saying that Velma's terrible, then the typical random person may not watch it, especially if they don't care about Scooby-Doo. But if they hear it's amazing and they don't care about Scooby-Doo, they'd probably consider watching it or just watch it.
yeah. They check it out. They'd want to see what all the hype is about, which I guess
Yeah.
kind of works in the sense that maybe people want to see why people are talking so poorly about this show.
Right, but I can't
That's more risky,
imagine.
though.
Yeah, it's a risky thing to rely on. Like I don't, but at the same time, certain production companies make a living off of that. Like whoever the fuck makes Sharknado, those movies aren't good. They're intentionally terrible, which is why I think they're bad.
Yeah, but people love the stupidness of them.
Yeah, like if what's the Room guy's name?
I have no idea.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah,
If
whatever
he
they're
made
called.
another movie today, people would flock to the cinemas. But at the same time, like I don't know, I don't think that's it's not a safe gamble for most companies to be like, well, people are going to hate on this and that's going to be fun. We're going to rely on the irony view.
And
Oh
becoming a
well.
meme is a huge like is fairly helpful for movies, I feel like.
Yeah, but what Velma has Velma become a meme?
No,
Because people make fun of it, but like I don't know, memes are I don't know how memes work. How
it's not
what are
like
what
it's
are
not like
memes?
Shrek or SpongeBob, which have become like a very meme heavy thing, and then people like love them, which
I yeah,
they probably did before. I'm not a huge fan of either,
I don't think
but
I think that the memification of specifically Shrek, but I'm sure SpongeBob as well. I don't understand the appeal of memes. Like, and I don't understand the appeal of a TikTok. Let me explain.
okay.
A meme is, I think, funny at first. Like, it's a format that is conducive to like really funny material.
Hmm.
But then when it's the same thing over and over again, it's the same punchline over and over and over again. I'm like, how are we still responding to this positively? It's like that TikTok guy. Have you seen, do we talk about the Soldier Boy cranking man?
No.
He's some dude on TikTok. What are you doing?
Oh wait, I can't draw stuff.
No, you
Oh
can't.
wait,
I
yeah, I
don't,
can. All right, continue, continue.
you can draw me a meme.
No, I was gonna draw a graph that only you and I can see.
Okay. That the Soldier Boy guy on TikTok, he I don't know if he still does it because I don't look at TikTok anymore, but he would his entire shtick was cranking Soldier Boy in songs that it doesn't need to be cranked in. Like,
Oh, yeah. Okay, I
and
do know
so
what you're
he'd
talking about.
play like a Taylor Swift song or like a Christmas song. And then at some point he'd hit a button. He wasn't actually hitting a button, he was editing it, I'm pretty sure. His little thing, his little setup was fake. I don't think he was plugged in. But then it like he does like a little dance to like the Soldier Boy song. And the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. But then I saw it every day, multiple times for like 3 months. And it was still getting like millions of, maybe not millions, like so many views and likes that it blew my mind. Because how can you like that more than once? And it says at the beginning of the TikTok, maybe on the screen or like in the caption, what is happening. It tells you what the surprise is. I don't understand it.
No, I think the only thing I can think of is there are so many people using it that you're gonna have a lot of people who that particular video is their first one. So they're like, oh,
I
this is funny.
guess.
And
But
then
like
they also die off later on. But then you just have new crowds coming in,
I guess. But like I imagine, I don't remember if I checked, but like if that guy has I imagine he has a ton of followers on TikTok.
probably.
Imagine following that guy and then for the rest of time you just get that video. The same video, in concept, the exact same video. There is no difference aside from the incidental quality of what song he chooses. Like it doesn't make a difference really. I
No, it
guess
doesn't.
I guess you don't know exactly when he's going to put the song in. So that gives it a fun little like, ooh, when's it going to happen? But who gives a shit? There's a guy I saw recently on TikTok who, Chance the Rapper?
I do, yes.
His little ad lib where he does a little like yell or scream sort of thing?
I'm sure I've heard it.
He goes, ah,
Oh, yeah.
how was that? Was that good?
That was very good.
Anyway, I saw a guy, it's like day 3 of listening to Chance the Rapper songs until I get scared. He's like, someone recommended this song. I have not heard it. Let's listen to it. And then, it's the open intro to the song, just like the instrumentation or whatever. And then he does a little ad lib scream and he goes, and it's like, it was pretty funny. But
But
then
how
I
many
saw
days?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I was like, okay, you can't do that more than once. I mean, you can, and you have, but the joke doesn't work more than once, in my opinion. And I do
No.
think it would have been funny if, like, he says, "Oh, it's day 3 or day 50 of doing this," but he's only done one video. Like, you don't have to actually do 50. You just say, like, "Oh, I've been doing this for a while." I don't know. Same thing with memes. It's just the same format with different plugins.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
And
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
I don't get the joke here.
It's pretty much you have a new meme gets introduced, and your first time seeing it, you're like, what the hell is this? You have a big
Right.
question mark. That's a terrible question mark.
No, it's really good.
Thanks. But you see this, and then you see another one, and you're like, oh, okay. And so maybe you find it funny, maybe you don't. But after a while, because it's like you know of it, and then it'll come out of nowhere and more unexpected, you're like, oh, that's funny. And then you'll like
Okay,
it for a little bit, and then you'll
yeah.
oversee it, and then like you're talking about, you're like, oh, this is stupid. Why do I keep seeing this? And so it'll reach one thing where it becomes so bizarre that it just doesn't make sense anymore. And so that's when it's like, what in my opinion, the funniest.
I guess, yeah, the
But then it's
evolution of
overdone,
it.
and then it's really stupid, and then a
And then it's
new one picks
replaced.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess there would be kind of stages to enjoyment. Like when you first see it, if it's funny, then you'll think it's funny.
Hmm.
And then it will get overdone. But then you see it and it surprises you. It's like unexpected. that's entertaining too. Like that's funny. And then when it gets to the point where it's so overdone that it loses all coherence, it's just nonsense. That's fun again. But at the same time, I don't really track memes to that point. Also, this is such a pet peeve of mine. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but when I was in college the first time and only time, everyone I knew spoke in memes. And it was
Oh,
like
I hate when people do that.
it's like when you only speak in like Marvel quotes. It's like what the fuck? Like I get it. You're not adding anything. Like maybe it's funny once, but if it's all you do, and also all those people I knew, instead of I thought I had gone crazy because everyone seemed to have replaced the word joke with meme. They'd be
Oh
like, "Oh,
yeah.
that's a good meme." I'm like, no, it's a joke, or it's neither. I'm like, I'm not holding a photo of SpongeBob's butt saying, "Where's the rainbow coming from?" That's what I think memes are.
That's I guarantee you people would like that meme.
I should make memes then. Like or like someone would be they'd tell like a funny story about like a shenanigan they got into. And be like, yeah, that was such a crazy good, like that was a hilarious meme, man. And I was like, how is that anything? What is meme? What's the etymology behind that word?
No idea.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but I kind of I know a lot of people do the same, and like if you use it correctly, then like it can be funny at times. But if it's all you ever say is just shit that is going around online, then you're just chronically online and don't have your own sense of humor, I feel like. Which if
I
you do that, fine. Like that's your sense of humor, go for it. But
Yeah. Apparently, it comes from the Greek mimina, which means imitated,
no, that makes
or
sense.
that which is imitated. So
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
that's dead on.
Or I know people who are like, they will just tell a joke and it's a funny joke, but it's stolen 100% from online. Like I'm online a fair amount, maybe
Yeah,
not as much currently, but I used to be. And every single time I'm like, I know that joke.
right. Have you ever
Like,
called someone out on that and gotten in trouble?
not got in trouble, but lots of times we're like, oh, I've seen that, and then laugh, and then that's it.
Oh, because one time someone made a joke about, I think it's a meme, or maybe it's just like a joke about like, oh, girls don't poop, things like that. You know, have you
No,
heard that?
yeah, they don't. It's a
And
fun
someone made
fact.
that joke, and instead of being like, "Oh, like that's so funny," I was like, "Where have I seen that before? Or where have I heard that?" I was like trying to think about it, and they're like, oh, "Fucking guys are always whenever I make a joke, they say that's funny. You must not have made it up." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't. I apologize. I didn't mean to insinuate that." But also, it wasn't. It was made up. It was
It
not
was.
stolen, but it was not an original joke.
No.
But I've learned because recently someone did that thing where they're like, what I like to say is if I had a nickel for every time it happened, I'd have two nickels. It's just weird that it happened twice or whatever.
Yeah, it's from Phineas and Ferb.
And I didn't say you stole that or anything, so I didn't want to be rude. But I was like, I know, like it's going around, man. It's all over the place nowadays.
Yeah, I don't, if I make a reference and I'm worried the person I'm making the reference to won't know it's a reference, I like I have to say it. So if I make a
Yeah.
joke and it's not my own, I'm like, oh yeah, like I saw that blank.
Okay, that's what I try to do that.
Yeah.
I'm only covering my bases now because I've probably stolen so many jokes from the Weekly Planet, either on purpose or by accident, because I've just sponged up listened to probably every episode of theirs like 15 times. I just listened to
Jesus.
it on repeat. Yeah, it's great. It really fucked up my brain. But so I guarantee I've stolen stuff by accident. Oh
That
well.
that's kind of different though, I feel like.
But also at this point, when there's like a new movie that we're going to talk about, like Rebel Moon, I will do this episode or not this episode. I'll do our review before I listen to their stuff because I don't want to subconsciously like absorb it
Hmm.
or reshape my. I don't do this, but like I don't want to reshape my opinion based off other people's reviews, and then I'll listen to it, and then sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, I said that exact same thing, which just means I'm on their level in terms of being good at podcasting.
100% what that means.
Yeah. Anyway, Velma's not a meme. Velma's a show on
Yeah,
HBO Max,
that you shouldn't watch.
or you should watch it. It's up to you.
Yeah, you're right.
Today's episode is sponsored by. It's not true. We're
We're not
not even.
sponsored.
No, not
We're
by.
self-made.
Yeah, we're self-made podcasters.
Yeah.
We
What of
both
a
have.
kind.
We both have two relatively cheap USB mics.
Yeah,
Not everyone can afford that. So,
that's true.
yeah, we are changing the world one podcast at a time. Oh man, you want to talk about Baby Reindeer for a bit?
You
I
want
haven't
to?
finished it.
I love it. It was a very good
Yeah,
show.
I'm not. Maybe that's why I haven't slept for a week.
It is a just
It's
it has
harrowing,
disturbing moments. Yeah.
very upsetting.
Like I've
Uh,
never experienced any of the stuff that he has experienced, but I know some people who have. So
yeah.
specifically
Is
stalking,
you know some stalkers or you know people who have been
people who have
stalked?
been stalked.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I've never been stalked because people are better at my stalkers are good at it, so I don't know they're there. Not to brag, but the way they depict it is really incredible, I feel.
Yeah,
And
I
you
think
get to
they do it
hear
much better.
much better than what?
Like the stereotypical stalker.
Oh yeah, like than
Uh,
you.
yeah, where it's like, oh, it's an attractive person who kind of just like you will just walk around and stare at you, but then be really charismatic and stuff, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Like
Like it
I
sexualizes it. Maybe not sexualizes it, it romanticizes it.
romanticizes it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a better word.
I appreciate getting to hear the internal dialogue of Donnie
Yeah,
or Richard Gadd's
Richard
character
Gadd.
because I don't know, it's very compelling to hear how he is internally reacting to this situation. How part of him at first enjoyed the attention and part of him resented the fact that he enjoyed the attention.
Hmm.
Like all of the kind of strange reactions his mind is having to the situation. We actually get to see and hear all of that, which he didn't have to do. And I think that was very, very smart of him to do.
I how far are you in it?
I don't know. Let me check.
Okay. I mean, what I was gonna say is not really. I just
How many
want to make sure
episodes
I
are
know.
there?
Seven.
I think I'm on episode 7, but I don't know for sure. Hold on.
Okay.
What's this show called?
Yeah.
Babby
I wonder
Randy?
how difficult it was for him to kind of relive this by acting it out. Like that's kind of an interesting choice, but it made it
Oh
more
yeah.
realistic,
I
I'm
imagine
sure.
this was
Like,
quite difficult for him to
yeah.
recreate. I'm on episode 6.
Okay.
I do know that, well, I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was, I don't know where I saw it, but he had a sold out show at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival where he talked about this.
Like after it came out, so this was recently or
I know he's been telling this story
for a
on
while.
stage for a while. I don't know for how long, but for a while. Like I saw somewhere that I think the show is based off of that. Hold on, I'm gonna let Winston out.
I've seen I read some Reddit thing that was discussing maybe it was the Edinburgh one. I didn't pay attention to the names, but it was talking about maybe the real life thing that was actually haven't seen that part yet.
What part? Oh, the
He just
producer thing?
when he talks on he does like a big monologue on stage, and he was talking about when that actually happened potentially.
Oh no, I haven't seen that episode, but that
Yeah,
sounds great.
that's the sixth. That's episode six, and it's really good. I
I
think it's
think
episode six.
I'm gonna make a prediction. Martha is gonna win an Emmy for best stalker. No,
She does
for
a really good job.
no, she's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like very uncomfortable and terrifying when she wants to be.
Hmm.
Everyone does a great job in that show. Donnie, what's her name? Terry.
Terry. I like Terry.
Yeah, everyone in that show is so great. Like I genuinely think like remember that show Beef on Netflix? Did you ever watch
Oh
that?
yeah, I did
Like
not
that
watch
won a
it.
ton of Emmys. I think Baby Reindeer is gonna do the same thing. But also, did you hear about the real life Martha?
Oh, she's getting harassed.
Yeah, and she's suing Netflix.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's suing Netflix. I didn't
she's
hear about
suing.
that.
I know that Richard Gadd said, "Don't try to find this person." Obviously, don't do that. That's not a good idea. She's a
Well, I
stalker,
mean,
first of all, but also don't harass her.
yeah, she clearly like the. You haven't finished it yet. Never mind.
Okay. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, she came out. I don't know if people uncovered her identity or if she revealed it herself, saying that like this is I'm actually the one being stalked. Like this guy made a show about me. She also said like I'm actually really attractive in real life, and he cast, she said, a very fat person, which is not very nice, real lady.
Yeah, I've seen what you're talking, like the message you're talking about, and the crazy
Yeah.
thing is, it sounds exactly like her.
And then she says
Yeah,
something like, I'm suing Netflix and I'm doing it myself because I'm actually a really good lawyer. And I'm like, oh no, this is you.
yeah. She's just like
Yeah.
it sounds exactly
He
like you.
actually fucking nailed your character. Like that's dead on. Or this is someone responding to the show as like kind of assuming that role, like playing that.
Oh, baby.
I doubt it. There is a photo of this person. Her name's Fiona something. I will cut that
Yeah.
out. Don't stalk this person if you
Or
listen.
don't harass her.
Don't harass her, don't stalk her, don't do anything. Just leave her be. But the photo of her, she also, if I'm not mistaken, this person has a history of stalking, like a record. And also she looks exactly like Martha. So
Yeah, and I saw like a compilation of tweets that she had made or something, and I mean I didn't look too much into it, so I don't know
right.
how like real they all are because the internet. But one of them literally said like made a comment about hanging curtains. which I don't know if that's a very popular phrase
I've never
in
heard
where
that,
they're
but it
from, but
might,
I had never
yeah,
either. So it's like she uses the
interesting.
exact line, and I'm assuming Richard Gadd used like word for word text from some of the messages he
I
got.
do know that not all of it is like that show is not 100% true to life, partially to keep the identities of people, a secret, but
Hmm.
also to add some like dramatic tension and dramatic weight. I don't know, just to like flesh out the narrative a bit, maybe.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, it's kind of how stories are told.
Yeah. And I mean, he's upfront about it too. Like he's not saying this is 100% true. And yeah, the real life version of Martha said like, "Well, I never called you baby reindeer." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not. Maybe you called him something else." Like,
He's
or
just choosing
maybe
baby reindeer. Yeah.
like he probably is. Yeah, he probably just picked something that is strange and absurd and off-putting to call someone. I don't know. It's a good show.
Really good show. And
Keep me keep keep me up at night though.
yeah, just finish it up quickly and then watch Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated. So then you have a lighthearted
I've been
for like
alternating.
90% of the show.
I watched one episode of Baby Reindeer, then I watched a bunch of X-Men the animated series, then I watched like 5 episodes of Baby Reindeer, and then I watched like 5 episodes of X-Men the animated series. Like each day I'm switching off. So today's a Baby Reindeer day, but I don't know if I will because I'm
There you go.
fucking tired, man.
How's X-Men?
It's good. It's
Good.
yeah. I mean it's not as good as 97. I think the reason, and I don't know how accurate this is just a thought that I had, and I am gonna have to finish the show before I kind of or and go back to the first 2 seasons because I haven't seen those in a few years. But before I stake this claim, but one thing that stuck out to me is in X-Men 97, there are actual like changes in the universe. Like, spoiler alert, Gambit dies, things like that. And maybe he'll come back, maybe not, but it feels like there's genuine narrative weight in
Hmm.
X-Men 97 and that the characters aren't guaranteed to make it out alive. Like they're facing a threat that might actually do some damage to them. Wherein, like the animated series, they do like the Phoenix Saga, which ends, spoiler alert, with Jean Grey dying. But at no point did I think she was dead, partially because I've seen X-Men 97 and I know the character. But
Yeah.
like it feels more like episodic, even though they do like five episode arcs. It still feels like, oh, like this is just you have a cast of characters and then they do a different thing each week, but they're always going to be fine. They're always going to return to the status quo. Whereas in X-Men 97, I think that status quo has the ability to and is changing in
Hmm.
the realm of that story, but it's still solid. I
I
think,
watch it. I've been debating it.
yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
I think, and I don't think this is just X-Men that's done this, but I feel like, and this might be rude of me to say, but I feel like shows from like I don't know, up until like the 2010s were written differently. They were plotted out differently, where they were
Maybe.
episodic. It's not that they didn't care about what they were doing, but they were pumping out like 20 episodes a year. So they had to just, fill in the gaps.
Hmm.
They were given like from the network, they're like, okay, you have 20 episodes, go. Just fill in the blanks, decide what the stories are. But nowadays, like, okay, with streaming, with the advent of streaming, like X-Men 7, it's like, okay, Disney Plus, Marvel, we have 10 episodes. We have an arc that we want to tell. Let us do that. And they're like, yeah, sure. Because they're not selling ad spots anymore. So they don't need to just
Hmm.
have more content and they can't kill off characters because they need to make sure that people remain happy with it.
Yeah.
But with streaming, they don't have to do that. So yeah, it's good. I think you should watch it. It's better than Avengers Assembled,
Okay.
and it's
I'm
better
gonna
than
check it out.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Have you finished Earth Minus Heroes?
I haven't finished. No, I haven't gone back since that
Yeah, because
first hit.
Earth Minus Heroes is actually like pretty good.
Well, I haven't
Assemble
finished.
is fun.
Okay, well, I shouldn't say it's better, but it is. It's not better than Batman the Animated Series, though.
I haven't seen that. I need to
I
watch that.
am kind of surprised that you never watched that because I know you love the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen episodes. I just haven't watched the entire show.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm gonna go to bed. We're gonna wrap
Okay.
it up. Got homework to do. I mean, I got homework to teach. I gotta profess.
Profess your love for your career in philosophy as
I've
a
got to
professor.
profess that I'm not a professor. Just kidding.
Oh, he got every single one of you. It's like
Yeah.
the new Taylor Swift song where she makes a joke about being pregnant, and then have you heard that?
No.
One of the songs goes or makes a comment saying she's pregnant, and then she's like, "Just kidding, but you should see your faces." And
You
there's a bunch
know,
of videos of people reacting where you see them like visibly make a face, and then hear that line, and then
all right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. Oh, thought baby for today. What's your favorite version of Scooby Doo? Is it the Venture Bros? Have you seen that? Let us know. Oh, dude, we got an email
We got an email.
Not from a fan,
Oh,
but someone is offering to for us to hire them.
hire them is for like editing or what?
Yeah, they want to. It's not just us. They sent me. Hold on, I'm gonna read it to you. I won't say their name, but they sent it to like 20 people, just saying like, "Hey, I've got experience with like editing and digital storytelling. I specialize in comics, motion graphics, character design, and visual effects." No one answered. Well, I didn't answer. His name is Jude Prince.
Well, we can't pay you,
I
dude.
know. Like I thought about
So
responding like, yeah, maybe if we ever get money, but also like because I'm not that good at editing. I'm good enough that I can do it, but there is so much that I struggle with, and also that I can improve on. There's so many things that I don't know how to do, like
mhm.
motion graphics. I'm so terrible at
Visual
those,
effects.
and visual effects and character design. But yeah, I was really happy to see that. It means that we have someone thinks of us as in the grouping of comic book YouTube channels, which is
And
good.
if we start making bank, we'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll consider it, man.
You know.
Or I don't know what your pronouns are. We'll consider it, pal.
Yeah.
We'll consider it, good buddy. But yeah, thought baby, Scooby Doo thing. Find us on YouTube. Hope I sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get some
let's do
sleep,
your
dude.
catchphrase. Good morning.
I'm offended by how early it still is.
Wow, I love the enthusiasm.
Oh, I'm a
I
very
can tell you
enthusiastic
don't
person.
resent that I make you do that.